finished cereal, so they probably have cereal breath.
It wasn't cereal!
Yes, it was.
I know! It was frozen spaghetti.
That's even worse.
Listen, if I had cereal, I'd be full right now, and I'm not.
Howdy, everybody, and welcome back to episode 15 of Youre Ridiculous. My name is Luke, and as always, I have... I forgot to do the thing.
What happened?
Every time.
What happened?
Where's all your I words?
I had one planned like 2 hours ago, and then I forgot what it was supposed to be.
Should have wrote it down, fool.
I know. I gotta get better. The incalculable.
This is embarrassing.
Wow, I think you've done that one.
Did I do that one? Nah, they can't prove it.
I think they could.
They can't. I don't think they could. They're idiots. They don't know, man. Wolfie, how's it going?
Alright, had some stuff.
Some cereal problems?
No, a lack of cereal, honestly. You know, there's like the Pops across, I was telling you about it, the Pops across the nation apparently are sold out.
Yeah, you and every 90-year-old did your shopping at the same time.
They did it before me, I didn't get any.
I want to come back to this in just a second, but I don't want to leave Rainie hanging to dry. Rainie, you're back with us. That was like the least bullying thing we've done so far. That was nothing. I was trying to say that you're back, and we're happy to have you.
Your tone of voice.
You're finally not working.
I don't appreciate.
That wasn't even bullying.
I don't appreciate the way you talk to me on this show.
Wow.
You almost forgot about me.
Fuck you.
It just wasn't your turn.
Go ahead, talk to Wolf about
That's
their
right.
cereal.
You gotta wait.
Important.
Good,
Fine.
I will. I can't believe you. Not only do you like eat Pops, you choose Pops.
Yes, they're really good.
No, they
I
aren't.
adore them. And apparently...
Yeah, I love eating, like, hardened packing peanuts.
Not hard. It's just, they're like popcorn, but sweet and large.
Why do I want to eat
They're
that?
yummy.
Why do I want to eat milky popcorn?
I mean, most cereal's made of corn, so...
Right, but it doesn't taste like that.
It doesn't taste like corn either. It tastes just sweet.
Then why... Right, it tastes like popcorn, which is even worse.
No.
See, he agrees with me.
Being a bitch, ignore him.
The wolf's dog agrees with me. See, you can't even cut that one out, because now we need it for content.
You're a fiend.
Well, welcome, like I already said, to episode 14. If you hadn't listened last week...
15.
Oh, 15, you're right. Listen, I pulled up the one for last week's. It's fine. 15. If you haven't listened to 14 yet, pause this one. Come back to it after. Go listen to that one. We talked about, mostly Wolf talked about Five Nights at Freddy's. I listened and gave some comments.
Talked your fucking ears off.
I did. I went on a little bit of a rant towards the end of it.
Yeah. Balanced it out.
About game design studios. I had a lot to say about that. That'll probably be its own episode one day. And then we did another Reddit hypothetical. Someone deleted their post, but we still found it.
Couldn't keep it for us.
They can't hide it. And then we finished it off, like always, with Rainie's question of the week.
It was a classic.
This one, it was a classic. This one, we're going to be talking about Inside Job, an animated TV show on Netflix.
Whoa.
We're going to be doing a... What are we calling this one? It's still a double down, right?
It's called You're Wrong, and We're Right. Here's why.
That's right. It was going to be a double down, but we all agree on the topic, so we had to change it. And then we'll polish the episode off with as always, like we do with a question from Rainie.
Sounds like a plan.
All right, let's get right into it. Wolf, why don't you share with the class what Inside Job...
Alrighty. Inside Job is a animated adult cartoon that came out in October, released by Netflix. It was co-produced by Alex Hirsch, the guy who made Gravity Falls, and Shion Takeichi, who I don't know, but they made a really good show.
Debatable.
What?
Uh-oh.
You're ridiculous.
We'll get into that.
Anyways, Inside Job is a show about the conspiracies of the world, and it focuses on this chick named Reagan, and she works at the company that is like they control all the conspiracy. They control most of the conspiracies
Cognito Inc.
going on. Like, yeah. Like,
Get it? There's the joke there. Incognito, Cognito Inc.
Yeah.
It's
Only
funny.
big
Don't
brain.
you love it?
Big brain.
Just like Rick and Morty.
You need a high IQ to understand it.
Yeah, you do.
Turned himself into a pickle. Funniest shit I ever seen.
Funniest shit I've ever seen.
So
Enough about Rick and Morty. That's not what we're here
exactly. Yeah, fair enough. Inside Job. I think it was a really good show. I watched it over like the course of 2 days. It's sort of like a Monster of the Week, Problem of the Week style show with a sort of a overarching plot going on, where each episode's focused on a certain conspiracy, and like it takes the conspiracy and it makes it even more wilder. Like, the Earth's not flat; it's hollow. Atlantis exists, and NASA has to Photoshop it out of all the pictures of the Earth. Another great one.
Oh my god.
No, the Atlanteans have beef with the reptilians, and the reptilians are like most of the celebrities making up the world.
That one's just true.
Don't say that.
I'll
They'll
be
shut us
honest.
down.
They'll take us out.
So, Lucas hasn't finished it yet, but Rainie, you finished it. Thoughts?
Mm-hmm. I enjoyed the show. I'm not gonna lie, I was more afraid that it was gonna be just kind of a ripoff of Rick and Morty, and it was gonna be a lot of recycled material. But no, I did a really good job
was.
of wow. First
was.
off, hang on.
No.
Wow, Lucas, wow. I want to hear it.
Incorrect.
Rude, interrupting my thoughts.
With
But no,
nonsense.
I enjoyed it. It's not something that I think
Yeah,
I would...
I'm a cunt. Get over it.
I completely forgot what I was gonna say.
You wiped it from your mind.
I can't wait to listen to the audio
Oh
back
my
on that
God.
one. Oh my god, my way forward.
you cursed yourself. Have fun with that.
That's gonna be a monster.
Oh no, that's gonna hurt.
Anyways, back to you, Rainie.
Well, Rainie, have you remembered your thought?
I think so. Yeah, not a series that I'm gonna go back and rewatch, but I did enjoy watching it first time through.
Mm-hmm. I really like the opening song. You don't see a lot of like openings in American TV anymore, so I'm always hyped to see one.
Mm-hmm.
And this one's a bop.
Yeah. I enjoy Reagan. Reagan really makes
Yeah,
everything.
I
Oh,
skipped.
yeah. Of course, she's the main character.
Lucas obviously doesn't
Her
have
breath.
any feelings whatsoever towards this show.
Oh yeah, none at all.
No, I have
has
a lot
no
of feelings.
thoughts.
Also, I skipped the intro.
What? It's so short. Why not just watch it? You're why the opening industry is dying.
Yeah, I'm just part
We're
of the
talking
masses.
to a guy
This
who would
is why.
skip the arcane intro.
This
We are.
This is why the opening scene is dying. Is because there's more people like me.
And you're
than
wrong.
either
You're
of
all
you.
wrong.
I didn't say it's a good thing to do. It's just what we do.
Reject it, and do
I
otherwise. Watch it.
It also doesn't help that Netflix puts the button for me to skip it right there.
Enablers.
If they want, I said this in the Arcane episode. If there's a point to watching it, don't put the skip button.
Fuckers.
They can program that out. Now, I do have thoughts about this show, and I don't think it's entirely fair for me to comment on the show without stressing that I haven't finished. Because I don't want to do it completely unjust, but I think I got the I got what it's going.
How many
for.
episodes did you watch?
4.
You didn't even get halfway through.
And there's like 10, right? Listen, I had 2 days notice on this, okay?
Big quitty.
No. I will go back and finish it. Mark my words.
Right.
You've said that
this
about many things. Inscription?
Like what?
Did you even play Inscription?
Both of them.
Okay, but Inscription is a lot longer of a process to play.
You could at least gotten a taste for it.
What about Deltarune? Did you ever start Deltarune?
Yeah, but I didn't have... Well, no, because I said why I don't like those.
I didn't even give Inscription a chance.
I didn't say I didn't like Inscription. That's the thing. I just said I'd never played it. That was it.
It couldn't have.
I didn't have negative comments to say about it.
Yeah, many comments.
And listen. Well, I did. Well, I had some. But, listen, this podcast can't be, we share everything that we like. Because clearly someone has to, put it in its place.
I guess.
All right?
All right, so
everybody can't go around thinking that everything is fantastic. And that we don't like
Mr.
anything.
Positivity.
Because I dislike most things.
Wow. Well, give me your thoughts on Inside Job. The first 4 episodes.
It was the same as every other adult animated cartoon.
You haven't watched enough.
I've watched plenty.
Apparently not.
It's all the same problem of the week episode. They're not sequential, but watching them further rewards you for doing it. You get jokes that or lore or whatever you want to call it that you may not have understood. But it's another my immediate comparison was Rick and Morty, which I stand by. But it's another American Dad, it's another Family Guy, it's another Futurama.
No.
None of them are bad.
No.
And I don't think Inside Job is bad. I'm just saying what is new about it.
Lots of stuff.
Why do we need another one of these shows that is just a hash of what we already have?
No.
It also felt super like that terrible live action, or I guess not live action, but live action, whatever, show with Steve Carell, the Space Force.
I don't know what that is.
That was also on Netflix. It was terrible. Don't watch it. The cast was super misleading because the cast was phenomenal, but the plot was terrible, and it was just like how they're gonna make a space force to go to the moon. It was like the big joke for Trump's administration.
I see.
And so they did a show about it, and in theory it's good, but then it just ends up being bad. Regardless, it felt a lot like that, just an animated version, because they're on a secret team again. And they're doing all these things and blah, 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 yada, yada, yada. It just felt like more of this. It just felt like what we already had.
I disagree.
I want new stuff.
I think especially the character dynamics and their interaction is especially unique because what's standard in like adult TV animation is everyone just shitting on each other for 30 minutes. Everyone trying to one-up each other for 30 minutes. Whereas this show has like actual dialogue, actual jokes. And there isn't like... They don't really have a Meg, and I think that's a plus.
They do have a Meg, but that's
no.
Right. I'll get to that because I wrote them all down. because they're all the same. The characters are all the same.
I think you just weren't paying attention.
No. I watched 4 episodes, and if my opinion about this show changes, I will go on. I'll finish it by next episode, by the next podcast recording. And I will publicly come on and change my opinion, say everything what I was wrong about. But right now, I see no reason why this is not just another adult cartoon that's based, or like a riff of, any of them. I'm not saying there weren't points that weren't funny, but it was comically predictable, and it was not new.
Of course, it's predictable on some level because everyone knows these conspiracies they're riffing off of.
But the twists I'm talking about, that's not anything new.
I feel like you haven't encountered any twists by episode 4.
I just meant, like, within the plot of each show. And the problem I have is that, well, I mean, I guess I already said it, but the characters, nobody can come up with interesting new character models, or whatever you want to call them.
Like,
we have like the likable idiot, which is Peter, and I'm going off of Family Guy, American Dad, Rick and Morty, Inside Job, and Futurama. So we have the likable idiot, which is Peter, Stan, Morty, Brett, from this one, and Phil. And then we have the generally attractive, like, troll person, in quotes, who often sets things right. We have Lois, Francine, the mom, who in Rick and Morty, who I forgot her name. We have also Brett again in this one, but also Reagan, because that is the one difference, is those two actually work well together and try to boost each other up. So there is slight difference in there. And then we have Leela from Futurama. We have the super genius, Stewie, Klaus and Roger, Rick, Reagan, and Rand. That's a dad name, right?
Yeah, Rand.
And Farnsworth, Professor Farnsworth from Futurama, obviously. We have, this one is my least favorite one, because every single adult comic show has this, and more often has multiple. We have the non-human friend.
Yeah.
And for some reason, they all feel like they need some sentient, talking, non-human friend. And it pisses me off.
It's suspended disbelief.
To quote one of our friends... No, this is bullshit. To quote our friend Walker, humans are interesting enough. We don't need these shit characters that come on the show and just be different, alright? So we have Brian, Roger, and Klaus, because we need 2 of them in one show. Rick and Morty was like one of the ones that kind of subverts this character, because there's so fucking many, and that they're not all like recursive in every episode. But literally name, watch an episode of Rick and Morty, and you'll find probably 5. But the one I could remember most often was like Mr. Poopy Butthole or something. Because he's, iconic. And then Inside Job, we have Magic Mike and Glenn Dolphman. Because, again, we need 2 for some reason. And then we have Bender.
Glenn Dolphman's basically a human.
Okay, yeah, but we also have Magic Mike, who is definitely not a human.
Fair enough.
And then I stopped here because I felt like my point was made after this column. But I could have kept going. We have, like, the character that people don't like or thinks the loser, and I labeled it, like, the detestable or the loser. And so we have Meg, Steve, Morty again, because he sucks. Brett again, because I feel like a lot of people are not going to like this guy who's positive and everything like that. I have a feeling he'll be the Meg of this character, or, like, any one of them.
Well, that's where you're wrong.
And then Zoidberg. Anyways, I was gonna keep going, but I felt like I didn't want to take up too much time with this segment, and I felt like this encapsulated what I was talking about. None of the characters are original. However, I didn't like Brett, and I'm assuming you did. Brett was annoying and he sucked, and I've known way too many Bretts to enjoy that character.
You're ridiculous!
And Magic Mike was the best character in the show by far.
My favorite
and he's the... I know, but I've already, I've already accumulated fantastic opinions about this and about all these shows.
Fantastic is a stretch.
The Mushroom is amazing. Well, no, the audience will agree with me.
But I will also, Reagan is most definitely not the controlling hot one. She's like, in her universe, very much not hot. There's a whole episode dedicated to her being so unappealing to other people.
I know. I said most of the time it's attractive. She's the one that skirts this thing. They don't all fit in perfectly.
Then they're not the caricature.
Broadly, they fit in more than they don't.
No.
They fit in quite a bit more than not. Literally the first episode, Reagan gets fired and has to come fix everything that Brett fucked up and that the rest of them fucked up. And that happens several times.
And several times, right, what's her fucking name? Reagan fucks up, and they have to fix her shit.
That's also why I said Brett is part of it, because they need each other to work. They've said that in the first episode.
Yes.
She needs this, basic dude, basic white guy. I forget what she called him. It was like poster white guy or something like that. I forget what she said exactly. Yeah, whatever. But yeah, all the characters.
He's the face and she's the brain. But where have you seen that dynamic in other shows?
I mean, they're the control.
Yeah.
Also, the face and the brain is literally stolen from A-Team.
I've never seen that.
His character's name was Face.
I don't know what that means. I've never seen it.
You know what it means because you just said he's the face.
I guess.
That's what
I don't know what it means in the context of the A-Team.
The A-Team, it just means he was the front guy. He was the one that put himself out there. He was the one that, talked to everybody. He was the charming one.
I guess. I mean, when you use such loose definitions, then you could say that nothing
It's
is
not
original.
loose. I've provided more than 5 examples.
If you can fit the characters into more than one character type, then it's a loose.
That just makes them worse.
No, it doesn't. You're just reaching to squish them into these boxes they don't fit into.
I listed more than 20 examples about how all these characters fit in together, and that I just can't.
You're ridiculous. You're gonna compare
You're
fucking
ridiculous.
Lewis to Reagan.
Oh, I like this show.
Your comparisons are reaches. They don't even make sense.
They're not reaches. First of all, it's not my fault that you don't understand half of them.
No.
That's on you.
I get them well enough. I just don't know what the A-Team is.
Okay, well, that's also an abomination. That's a classic.
Wow.
Classic Americana.
Well, glad I haven't wasted the time watching it.
Well, you probably wouldn't like it, but...
I think that we do need to take into consideration that there are things that are going to repeat. There are themes that are going to repeat in shows, not because it's like generic or washed up, but because it works. So with the idea of having the two people that they need each other, there's so many other movies and shows that do the exact same thing, and they're still classified as really good shows, having those pairs that work off of each other. So I think that one's more...
Right, but I didn't bring up the fact that they needed... I didn't bring up the fact that they needed each other. Wolfie brought that up. That wasn't my point.
I mean, her point applies to all the other archetypes, too.
I know, but I'm disagreeing in that sense.
Mm-hmm.
I'm complaining about the fact that...
Brett's definitely not a Meg. Brett's definitely not a Meg.
Brett sucks.
No. He's great.
Brett's annoying.
Brett's great. And his character
Brett's an annoying
is
frat
self-aware.
Guy. He's not great. Yeah, he's self-aware and he sucks. And he's basic.
He is very self-aware.
He says himself that he's a nobody.
And he goes on a character arc because of that.
Right, and I have said from the beginning, I'll finish watching it, and if my opinion about this changes, I will be the... I will say.
Even with the info you have now, he's not a Meg. You just don't like him.
Right, but I said I think a lot of people are going to feel that
They
way.
do not.
Have you talked to everybody?
Yep, lots of them. People love Brett.
He's
great.
Bullshit. Brett sucks. Brett sucks.
He gets his own episode.
Good for him. It doesn't make him any less suck. I did like some of the jokes. Some of them were funny. They weren't entirely rip-offs like Rainie said in the beginning. I'm not saying it's a bad show. I'm just saying I'm tired of this, cartoon adult comedy that has a lot of, repeating themes that we've seen for the past 20, 25 years.
That's fair.
You're impossible.
I didn't say it's bad.
I'm aware.
I'm just saying, personally, I'm I'm a bit tired of this whole, thing that everybody's saying is works. Let's do more of it because, it has worked for a while, but now I want to see something else. I don't want this the whole stuff that we've already seen. I want something different. I don't need the, adult cartoon to have, 5 different non-human friends, stuff like that. I don't need, all the other stuff I already talked about. I'm not going to keep repeating it. I just wanted something different, and that's why I didn't watch it up until now. Not just like from 2 days ago or whatever, but this came out last October, and this was part of the reason why I haven't watched it up until now, was I was kind of expecting it to just be a lot like the other ones. And again, if you enjoyed Inside Job, either of you or anybody listening, then great, I'm glad it works for you. And again, I did enjoy some stuff. I really like the mushroom alien. He's really funny. But anyways, enough shitting on it, because obviously it's a popular show.
Oh, right. It's amazing.
One thing
I've also watched tons of adult comedies, and I considered it new. They did new things. I will say, I wish they had done a different art style. They did stick with that same art style for every adult cartoon.
Yeah, it looks like Disenchanted or Futurama and a little bit like Rick and Morty. It kind of looks like all those. They really just mesh together, and maybe that's part of it. There's no new art style that I really want. I want a new art style, and they didn't.
Yeah.
And that may be part of the reason why I feel like it is so much like these other ones. So part of its downfall. But so obviously, not disregarding the fact that I haven't completely finished it, what have I missed that makes it new and exciting?
I touched on it a bit earlier, but it's mostly the character dynamics. Like, maybe they fit into some of your archetypes, but the way they interact with each other doesn't fall into the usual, dynamics you'd see in Family Guy, or Rick and Morty, or American Dad, where it's just, the lovable bitch does something stupid, the control freak fixes it, or the two leads shit on the Meg character for 10 minutes, and then there's no consequence, and they move on like nothing happened. Each episode has effects on the episode that comes after it. It actually comes to a head in one of the later episodes of they have a realization. They've all been being pretty shitty to each other. And it results in them, turning against each other. And there's, a big fight. And, spoilers for the ending. I lost my train of thought.
I mean, that's fair.
I didn't want to just tell you the ending.
Well, I mean, yeah, I guess for me, we can assume that the audience, all of our podcast episodes have spoilers no matter what. So, I know part of what happens at the end. I was reading some stuff about it, and I read that the dad gets control of the company.
He does in the end.
He has the most share of the stocks, which that part of the information is present in the beginning. And so it's not surprising that the dad comes back. And to me, it was pretty obvious. Not that he would get control of the company, but he would obviously be a bigger part than he is in the first couple of episodes that I watched.
Yeah, he's kind of a growing nuisance as the episodes go on.
Yeah, and I mean, even in, I think, the one I finished, he says he screws JR. And so clearly a lot, that's leading, leading the audience. To obviously that's going to come back in a future episode. And so I do like, and I wish cartoons did this a bit more, and I guess they're starting to now, especially with this one and Rick and Morty and stuff. How you mentioned that it's not just like a one and done type thing. It's it's a monster of the week with hints and flecks of different information and plot points that will come up later. And some of the adult cartoons did this in the past a little bit. Most notably, Family Guy, just because they had recurring characters like the James Woods arc. If you're familiar with that, he comes back several times and stuff like that. But it's different. This one is obviously a bit more alluding to future plot points and previous plot points, which I did enjoy. Audience, you may have noticed I didn't include Simpsons on my list. It's because Simpsons is not good, and I will not hear anybody talk to me about this. And Rainie just made a big notice of me. Obviously, more to that. I haven't watched enough Simpsons to know to include it on this list. Otherwise, I would have, because it's undeniably one of the progenitors of, or the progenitor of animated
where all these
cartoons.
Archetypes come from.
Right. And so I just didn't feel like it was fair to include it on this list without me having seen it a lot.
Speaking of The Simpsons, I had it on like a few weeks ago, just as noise in the background, and I was watching it. It was like I was watching the episodes, and it felt like they didn't have endings. The episodes would just end. I'm watching it, and stuff is happening, and then it ends, and we're on to the next episode.
Have you ever, I have a feeling I know the answer to this, but have you ever watched The Sopranos?
No.
Okay, well, their shtick would be that they wouldn't end an episode, it would just cut to black, like, in the middle of dialogue. It would literally just, it would, close up the episode, but it would have characters talking at the ends about stuff, and then it would just cut.
Love it. I like it.
It literally would just cut. There was no, I don't remember if there were credits at the end, but it would just cut without an explanation.
I see.
Yeah, so maybe Simpsons is taking a page out of The Sopranos.
No. It's like the characters acknowledge that we're done, and then it's the end.
Family Guy did that a couple times, not very often, and not how you repeatedly like you're saying. They've had a couple times where okay, we wrapped up the episode. Anybody got anything else?
I remember some of
And Peter's like, Lois, no. Meg, you want to say anything? No. Okay, we're done. And then it's just them sitting there for 30 seconds.
Yeah.
I am gonna finish it, but right now, since we kind of want to wrap this topic up, there's not really, well.
It's been 30 minutes.
Right. That's what you have. I want to say one more thing. Hang on, I gotta pull it up. Do either of you have something to say? Because I have to.
I'll come up with some stuff to say. I really like Brett and what's his face, Reagan's dynamic, and I like the way, I know you can say reading the summary that you see Rand's takeover as something obvious, but the way they plays out, that kind of comes out of left field a bit. You feel
I'm excited to see that.
Yeah, it feels like everything's wrapping up neatly, and then boom, not neat at all.
Do we know if there was greenlit for a second season?
I'd be amazed if it wasn't.
I mean, the ratings have all been good. Obviously, my aggressive take towards it is less about the show itself and more about the genre that it is in. And this is just the next target, or the most recent target that I can use as a standing point for my... Obviously, there is some direct points about the show that I am a little iffy on. I am excited to finish it. One thing I will say, and I think a lot of people noticed or could tell from the beginning by the voices, except Wolfie, because they never pay attention, is the cast is excellent. The voice acting cast, yeah. As Reagan is Lizzie Kaplan, who's pretty famous in the Now You See Me series. And she's great. I really like her. Alex Hirsch is the old gassy Noel kills JFK guy.
Oh, yeah.
And he's in like Gravity Falls, and I think did some voicing for Futurama and stuff like that. Glenn Dolphman did voicing for basically every cartoon you could think of. He was in Futurama, he was in Gravity Falls, he was in The Simpsons, did a bunch of shit. The two really famous ones that I think are really easy to pick up on. Oh, Christian Slater's in this too, which was nice to see him again. He's the dad. I like him. But really, Clark Duke is Brett. I can never decide if I like Clark Duke as an actor. He's in a lot of stuff. But the one that is most memorable for me is he's one of the interns in The Office. I know Rainie's has seen it, so he's the shorter guy that looks like Dwight in The Office, and that's always what I'll remember him for. But yeah, he was Dwight Jr. in The Office, but he's been in a bunch of stuff, and his voice is super memorable. And so that may be why I can't figure out if I like Brett or not, just because I can never tell if I like Clark Duke.
I see.
Not. And I don't know why.
In the water. Also,
I know
it was confirmed for season 2, but they don't have a release date yet.
Oh, nice. Okay, well, I'm not, like you said, I'm not surprised. A lot of the reviews are pretty good. However, my favorite, as Brett Gelman, as Magic Mike, the mushroom man. Brett Gelman, most recently, at least as far as I know of, is funnily enough, is the crazy conspiracy guy from Stranger Things.
It was meant to be.
Yeah, and he is a fantastic character and a great actor, and is like a really classic actor, been in a ton of different movies, especially like in the 2000 range. I'm a big fan of like looking at casts for shows and TV shows. If the audience didn't know, I just find that kind of analysis and stuff like that super interesting. But anyways, I like the cast, so it's conflicted on me about liking the show.
You're an animal.
I agree with Rainie, by the way. She said this way in the beginning, that this, I think, is a show that many people will watch.
Yeah, that's fair.
A lot of them obviously will probably like it, which is why it's been greenlit for for season 2. But I don't think it's one that you could watch over and over again.
Fair enough.
I mean, do you agree?
I don't rewatch shows.
That's fair. I think a lot of people have that stance, actually, or like philosophy.
I watched it once. That was good enough.
Yeah. What about movies? Or is it all the same?
Probably the same. I used to rewatch movies as a child, but not anymore.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. I am pretty similar. I don't rewatch it, but I put on The Office as background noise all the time. Just because it's familiar and I enjoy it. But it's not like I'm actively watching it. It's just for some noise. Breaking Bad is another one that I rewatch every now and then, which I really really like that show. Classic quality.
Yeah, I think.
But other than that, I think I agree with you. I don't rewatch shows that often.
I think my lack of rewatching is why I've seen so many adult comedies, and there's so many are just bad, like not even funny. That's why this was such a breath of fresh air.
Yeah.
To some people.
Like there was The Prince. The Prince was bad.
Wait, what was The Prince?
The Prince was the one about the royal family.
Gee, thanks. I couldn't gather that.
That's the issue. That's all it's about, and there's like no jokes. There's no story, and it's not funny. They spend a lot of time shitting on the kids for some reason, not the adults. A lot of the jokes are about the kids. They've like made the main boy, I don't know his name, but whatever the boy is in real life, they've made him out to be like some fruity twink who's kind of catty, and his sister, I think, is like a spy.
By the way, I am so tired of shows and TV shows, and not just for adult comedies or whatever, but having that you described it as the Meg character.
Yeah.
Can we please just stop having that? Oh, let's throw in a character that literally everybody is going to dislike.
Yeah.
And, like, we will use as active comedy to shoot at.
Yeah.
Because it's not funny, and it's just not... It's not even comfortable to, like, listen to.
It gets old. Pass it around.
It gets old, and I feel like at this stage where we are, like, as a, like, collective society, we don't need that sort of character anymore. Yeah. It made sense when you look at what society was, 1995, 2000s, when, like, Simpsons and Family Guy were at their peak.
Yeah.
Because that's kind of where that character started for the most part. Especially when you look further back in, like, 60s, 70s, and 80s, they didn't have that character.
Right, yeah.
They wanted their characters to be likable and to be rooted for. And I'm not saying, Family Guy or The Simpsons should change the character because it's worked for them. But with these new shows, we don't need this character anymore. And luckily, the Meg character was actually one I had a hard time finding a fit-in for. Obviously, my personal bias set in. I put in Brett because I do fully think that there are going to be a lot of people that don't like this character.
Just wait till you get to his episode.
I am one of them. I will. I'll again. If I'm grossly wrong about my own opinions that I've said in this episode, I'll change them in the next episode, and it'll be that. Anyways, back to Meg.
No more Megs.
It's bullshit, and I'm tired of it. Yeah, none of it.
Even SpongeBob is moving away from their Meg. Squidward's not really a Meg anymore because no one's into it.
Really?
Yeah, really.
What is he now?
Well, everyone gets some now. There's no one dedicated character that everyone shits on. I think they relied on it a lot and like a couple of years ago, but now they've moved away from it. Because I guess
honestly, I always liked Squidward.
He's neat.
I always liked Squid. I related more towards Squidward than I did with SpongeBob or Patrick.
That's fair. I can see it. I like Squidward best in the when he loses his job, that episode. It really turns the table. Now he's the annoying one. Why don't you get someone whose job it is to do it?
Yeah. Right, I remember now.
And you're not gonna hire me back all because of a stupid time.
Oh, God.
Class.
I like that, breaking the fourth wall and completely changing subjects, by the way. I like that we talked about this inside job because we knew Rainie was going to be on this episode. I've said the most shit.
She said nothing at all.
Honestly, I'm just kind of enjoying the show that you're giving.
Rainie.
Look, before we go, how about our favorite character?
Well, we're not leaving.
Well, before we change topics. Rainie.
Rainie, why don't you start? Who are your favorite characters?
I actually really liked Reagan. I feel like she had like an emotional depth that like not a lot of us get to see, especially in adult comedic setting. Like, of course, everybody likes to joke about anxiety and stuff like that because that's like the norm, but it was nice to see, like, not saying that it's nice to see her struggle, but it's nice to have a main character that's not always on top. Like in Rick and Morty, one of my favorite parts were when Rick was at his lowest, because I felt like it was a lot more, it was just like a lot more raw and just like a lot more enjoyable to watch, not like satisfactory wise, but just kind of like in a relating kind of way. So I really liked how raw Reagan was.
The secondhand cringe of watching Rick get rejected by Brian Pearson.
Yeah, it's not nice to see her struggle, but it's nice to see the personality trait represented.
Another nice thing about Reagan, first episode, they kind of present her as a Rick, but as you go on, she's not really a Rick.
Yeah.
Yeah, not at all. Her dad is a Rick.
What about you, Lucas? After these 4 episodes? Oh yeah, you said Mike.
Yeah, I like Mike. He's funny. I recognize Brett Gilman's voice right away, who I really like, obviously. And I just thought, as much as I'm tired of the non-human best character friend, I did think it was slightly newer than the other ones.
Yeah.
It wasn't just a basic animal that is somehow talking.
Yeah.
like Brian the dog or the bear in the Cleveland show or whatever.
Yeah.
So I like Mike, and I like the dad, Rand. He was really He obviously is super representative of Rick, who is also pretty funny. Best part of Rick and Morty is obviously that main character, in my opinion. And so it's not a surprise that dad character works really well. What about you, Wolf?
I really liked Andre, the scientist who makes all the drugs. He was funny, and
he was. I've only seen him like in the one episode where he kills the.
Yeah, his dynamic with Mike is real funny, and I also really like Susie, which is Reagan's mother. She's just really funny. Her whole character.
Oh yeah, she seems like a mess.
Yeah, she is. She fucking marries herself.
That character, by the way.
Yeah, she gets a whole episode of where she marries herself, and she like makes it a whole thing. She makes it seem like she is marrying another person, but then you get on into it, and she's proposing to a fucking mirror, saying her vows to a mirror. Well, and that's all with the episode with the flat earthers. Also great. Also really funny.
Can't wait to watch that one. Alright, so why don't we give it a rate? 1 out of 10 like we always do for our stuff.
Alrighty.
1 being the lowest, 10 being the highest. Obviously, I'll go first. Historically on this, I have not given good rates for many things. And it's because I am extremely critical with what comes out in today's
media.
What the people, media and what people can consume for games and TV shows and stuff like that. I have been obviously super critical of this show, and not just the show, but the background of the show and everything. What I saw, I did like for the most part. And while I am tired of everything that I talked about, I don't need to repeat it. I'm gonna give it a 7.
Wow.
Because I know, high praise for me. Again, I'm only 4 episodes in, so I think it's unfair to give it a lower rating, at least right now, because I did enjoy what I've seen so far. And I think the remaining 6 episodes, and potentially onward, have a lot of room for growth. And so I am optimistically giving it a higher than normal rating for me, because I am hoping... I would love to be proven wrong about that. Is where I'm going to end it. So, anyways, that's me. A solid 7. Wolf, what do you got?
I'd give it like an 8. I'm dinging some points for the art style, because I would love to see something else in terms of art style.
Such not good.
Please.
They literally
do anything else.
They literally ripped off Rick and Morty, like the belch and the drinking animation, about how it just like spills out and everything, and then they like wipe their feet.
Yeah.
Like, please, something else.
But at least it's not ugly. At the very least, at least it's not Big Mouth.
God, Big Mouth is a cancer upon society.
No.
Delete that show, and whoever made that should never be hired to make something else. That show is so detestable and deplorable that I refuse to even talk about it on this podcast more than right
Fair
now.
enough. He'll eat that shit up, though. But yeah, okay, solid.
That's all I'm gonna say.
Dinging some points for the art style, but I enjoyed the story a lot. I enjoyed the characters a lot, and I enjoyed seeing something fairly new within the adult animation scene, as in the terms of characters that change and develop in an overarching story. Rainie.
Rainie.
I'm gonna give it a 7. It's not something that is on the top of my watching list, but it's definitely something that when it's on, I'm gonna sit and watch and enjoy the content. Again, I'm feeling the same way. I feel like I'm just watching an alternate universe of Rick and Morty. Like, it's just a continuation of that show, based solely on the art style and how it's presented.
Yeah.
Another point, by the way, that I think one of us may have brought up, I forget. Anyways, it is an excellent show to put on in the background and not have to care about what you're watching.
Fair.
Because you can listen to the audio and understand what's happening indirectly to what you're seeing. You don't have to pay attention. You can do work and put it on and listen to it and be fine. You also won't miss that much if you zone out. So that gives it a big bonus.
It was a little. There's little details. Mm-hmm. It is an Alex Hirsch show.
I'm character development.
Yeah, I'm not saying you should completely ignore it.
Understanding.
Obviously, I wouldn't, put it on to do your taxes. As far as like, look up at the TV or however you do your multitasking, it's a solid show for that. All right, I think that about wraps it up. 50 minutes later. So I think what we'll do is we'll save our We're Right and You're Wrong for next.
All right.
And we'll just finish it off with a classic question of the week from Rainie, because we obviously can't skip that.
Yeah.
So, we won't even give you the topic of what our We're Right and You're Wrong was.
You'll have to tune in next week.
Secrets.
This whole week was I'm right and everybody else is wrong.
It doesn't apply to a topic.
It is. That is me every day if you don't know me. So, somehow I've managed to retain friendships with that attitude.
We'll call it that.
Wow. Rainie coming in hot.
Oh, I can't wait to hear that because Discord cut out her audio.
Oh, no.
So
it's going to be great.
Discord saved you.
Lucas is just going to erase all of my audio.
I'll find out when I put...
And mute.
For those not aware, I edit the episode. I put the episodes together each week. Everybody edits their own audio, but I put them together, so that'll be fun to hear.
Eventually.
It's going to be good.
Yeah, let me just... the 52-minute mark. Good. Now I know.
All right.
Yep.
Rainie, what do you got?
If you were to be tried and condemned as a witch, how would you want the townspeople to terminate you? Eliminate you off the planet. How are you going back to the gods that you worship?
Bold of you to assume that I would die.
Yeah. Bold of you to assume I'd get caught. But assuming I did get caught being a witch on Maine, so there'd be a rocket, like a SpaceX rocket, that they'd strap me to. Now, I'd be inside of it. But then as they launch it into the air, the rocket explodes and sends all my pieces outwards to rain down upon everyone to infect them with my witchiness.
Return.
And then they'd throw up some normal fireworks to, announce that the deed is done. And then they'd remember as a holiday every year. They'll be celebrating it 100 years in the future, but they don't know why at that point. But they do it.
I know I would be. I like that we both went for, traumatizing the townspeople.
That's what they deserve.
Because mine is a 50-50 gambit. When I'm condemned and, brought outside for them to off me like they would anybody else if I'm being hanged or executed or whatever, I wish to be struck by lightning. And either I will live, because some people have lived being struck by lightning, or I will die, and which case I will have the most beautiful death anybody's ever seen, being struck by lightning, and I'll just be like... jazz handing it as I struck by lightning. Or I'll live, and I will become a god.
That's what I was going to say!
For the rest of my life. and I will be pardoned of my witchiness.
Because you're a god, not a witch.
That's fair.
Because I am a god, exactly. So, I'm taking a full gambit, and I lose nothing in this, because if I die from the lightning, I was dying anyway.
Fair enough.
Oh
That's
my
how I wanna
God,
go.
Lucas and the Wolfie holiday.
Yeah.
But Rainie,
All right.
can you top that?
All right, Rainie, top that one.
Honestly, I don't know. I don't know. This episode has been so out of my own
He just wants to get
control.
shot in the back of the head like old Yeller.
I think that
They just dunk her in the river.
just return me back to Earth. That's
Just bury ya.
just get rid of me.
Moisten
toss
you
me
up
away.
a bit.
No, I want to have like a falling experience. If I know that I'm gonna die, I at least want to be falling when I do it. So I think the best thing to do is be lit on fire because I'm a witch, and then I wanted somebody to put their phone in my hand because I want to broadcast on TikTok. Hashtag witch talk.
They take it down.
And
You'd have to live stream it. They don't watch those.
and then I'm just gonna be
Okay,
on
guys, get out
fire,
of here. You're
falling
in the
from
water.
the sky
Here.
into the ocean where I can return to the abyss whence I came. That's it.
Become fish
And that's
nutties.
Clean as day.
I like how Rainie chose like the most
Coming at
painful
you
way to
live
die.
From Salem, Massachusetts.
No, she
being
chose
burned to death.
2 of the most painful ways to die. Because she gets set on fire and then she drowns.
Yeah,
You
we're
gotta
out
give the
here
people what they want.
We're out here exploding from a rocket and being lit up by a lightning bolt. And Randy's like, I just want to go the most painful way as possible.
Painful and slow. Broadcast to the world.
Suffer in life.
Not only
Suffer
should
in
I
death.
have no chance of...
Do you...
Not only should I have no chance at, retribution against the people that killed me, I need to be punished while doing it.
Are you like popular on TikTok in this scenario, or have you stolen someone else's account? Cause how are people gonna know and watch it?
She's broadcasting to her 2 viewers. Her mom hops on for like a minute and then logs
Doesn't even
off.
watch the whole thing.
She just she comments do it quicker, you're draining the battery.
I'm on the ground getting it from a second position. Second view.
Oh my god.
I'm in a boat in the middle of the ocean, just there she goes. Giving some live stream commentary, oh there we go, she's peeking through the clouds, she's C9ing, and now, she's coming through, it's gonna be a big poggers.
Yeah, and Veronica's streaming to her her 40k viewers, and Rainie is too.
She reposts it and gets more views.
I don't even know why I come on this podcast anymore.
Now, I was just gonna say, now this is the bullying.
I feel like you brought this one
is
onto
the
yourself.
Now, audience, let us know how, if you were tried and condemned, how you would want to go. Obviously, we broke some of the rules with it being around the 1400s times. But who cares? That's less fun.
They invent
Well, I
rocketry in
didn't
the 1400s just to kill me.
Exactly, and same with
Yep.
same with TikTok.
That's why they're killing her. She's just a time traveler. She brought TikTok to
I thought
her.
you were gonna say they're killing her because she's like a TikTok ego. It's we can't have that.
That applies
in our
to
village.
any era.
Just stop it before it starts.
True. Leah, let us know in the comments or on Twitter how you would like to, and no holds barred. Be creative.
See if you can do better than us.
We were. Yeah. See if you can top potentially becoming a god.
Exactly.
And I think that about wraps up episode 15 of You're Ridiculous.
Alrighty. What an episode.
Yeah, Wolf, why don't you take it away?
My name is Wolfie, and I'm taking it away. Thank you for watching You're Ridiculous, episode 15. Woo, woo, woo. And you can follow us on all our socials. The main cast at ridiculous_cast on both Instagram and Twitter. You can follow Lucas at 7angryWasp spelled with an E. You can follow me on Rainbow Does of No W. Additionally, you can check out Rainie's website, RainieMayDesign.com. All these links will be down in the description. No one ever reads those. But they're there for your viewing. Say goodbye, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Goodbye. Fuck you.
Bye.